ஸ்க்ரீன் போட்டுருங்க சார்.
Good morning all. I welcome you all for this webinar on yet another resource negotiator, namely and shortly called as Yarn in Hadoop. It's a framework, it's a method, it's a resource manager like operating system in a computer. Now, what are the agenda we are going to discuss in this session? First, we discuss about the definition of Yarn and why we require Yarn. What is the architecture of Yarn? What are the different components available in Yarn? How the Yarn architecture works? That is, we got to discuss the working flow of Yarn. Then what are the features available, and finally we discuss the summary of Yarn language. Dear students and participants, first you must understand what is called as operating system in a computer. Without the operating system in a computer, we cannot understand the instructions, we cannot communicate with the computer. So operating system acts as an interface between user and the computer. In any computer, whether it is laptop or desktop or any kind of mobile or any kind of computer communication oriented systems, we require a special software that is called as operating system. So without the operating system, it's not possible to communicate with the system in ordinary computer. Therefore, an operating system acts like an interface between the user and the computer. An operating system acts like a interface between the user and the computer. User, we are the users, computer is system. So in your computer system, whether it is mobile system or laptop or desktop or any kind of mainframe, mini computer, mainframe computer or microcomputer, any kind of computers, we require a specialized software that is called as operating system. This is also called as a system programming for the management of, for the communication purpose between the computer to computer, for the use of the other application oriented programming, we require the operating system. Now, what is the requirement of the data operating system? Usually the Yarn is yet another resource negotiator. This is act between an interface, an operating system between the Hadoop's ecosystem and the user, the Hadoop ecosystem and some of the servers. Why the Hadoop ecosystem requires a specialized kind of data operating system means it is not easy to carry out a large amount of data by means of your usual language, usual system, usual computer. The big data concepts are processed by using a specialized kind of software, namely mostly we utilize the Hadoop software for the processing purpose of the big data. But the data downloaded, processed, activated, executed, manipulated, managed by means of this Hadoop operating system are available in various sources. The data are available. the server informations are activated, server informations are derived, processed, but which are available anywhere else in the around the world. Therefore, in order to download, process the information which are available globally in any kind of servers by means of a special kind of operating system which is called as data operating system, which act as an interface between the Hadoop ecosystem and the servers and between the user, between user and Hadoop ecosystem, and the Hadoop ecosystem to servers, various servers. This yarn is actually activated, processed, that is managed. Okay, there are various Hadoop ecosystem components are available nowadays. For the workflow, some kind of components are available. For the other kind of this MapReduce and HDFS are the two components, major components. In between the MapReduce and HDFS, we have an interface that is called as yarn. Yarn is the interface between the MapReduce phase and the HDFS phase. The output of the MapReduce informations are carried out and given to the input of the HDFS component. Therefore, yarn acted like a data operating system. Data operating system, how the data are processed, how the data are downloaded in between server, in between the MapReduce actions, and in between the HDFS and MapReduce actions. So the yarn is the one of the very famous resource manager. Therefore, already we have enough idea about the resource manager. An operating system is the resource manager which act between the user and the computer, like between the data servers, between the user applications, between the MapReduce and the HDFS. The yarn system act like a interface. Okay, now interface act like an interface means a resource manager. A resource manager is actually a suitable name for the yarn data operating system. Actually, this is called as cluster resource management. How the clusters are carried out, how the clusters are processed by means of this Hadoop echo environment. This is the main study about the yarn. What are the different components in the Hadoop ecosystem? HDFS, yarn, MapReduce, Spark, Pig, Hive, HBase. There are various components in which, in between HDFS and MapReduce, the yarn act in order to carry out the information which are produced by the MapReduce and submit to the HDFS. The yarn, this is the work of the yarn. There are various modules, there are various components, phases are available in Hadoop ecosystem. Each and every components are utilized for various purposes. For storing the in-memory data, we use a Spark software, Spark tool. For carry out a query-based information, we use Pig and Hive. Already we discussed about the Hive language. Already we discussed about the MapReduce tool, Hive tool. Next, in the next session, we discuss about the Pig tool. It's a framework which is exactly utilized in the Hadoop. One of the query-based tool, except Hive, is Pig. Pig is also contains Pig Latin queries. We will discuss in the next session the basic concepts about the Pig. Then HBases act like a NoSQL database. Mockets, Spark, machine learning. These are the machine learning libraries utilized in the Hadoop ecosystem. For searching and indexing of databases, we use Solar and Lucene tools. For managing the clusters and for processing the clusters, we use the Zookeeper softwares. For the scheduling purpose of jobs, each and every job actually done by Hadoop system is done by Uzi software. Okay, this is the general important Hadoop components available in the Hadoop ecosystem. Now we discuss why we require Yarn. The Hadoop framework become limited only to MapReduce processing paradigm. The Hadoop framework, if you use MapReduce processing, it is limited. Only some limited processing work is carried out by means of the Hadoop Echo framework by using the MapReduce method. Therefore, to overcome all these issues which are handled, which are processed when we utilize the MapReduce processing, Yarn was introduced in Hadoop version 2.0 in the year 2012 or 13 by Yahoo and Hortonworks. In order to overcome the limited use of the MapReduce applications, we utilize the Yarn data operating system. The basic idea behind Yarn is to relieve MapReduce by taking over the responsibility of resource management and job scheduling. MapReduce also done some resource management work and some job scheduling work. Beyond the MapReduce job, we can utilize Yarn for the effective use of the resource management, for the effective scheduling of the jobs in between MapReduce and HDFS. Therefore, Yarn started to give Hadoop the ability to run non-MapReduce jobs within the Hadoop framework. Sometimes the Yarn accepts non-MapReduce jobs which are not produced by the MapReduce, some kind of methods. If you see here, some kind of applications which are carried out to Scoop and other Apache, Ambari and Zookeeper, these are all directly understood by the Yarn and directly transferred to the HDFS. Whatever the information carried out by using the HBase are directly understood by Yarn, transferred to the HDFS. So this is the simple idea why we require the Yarn. Also, Yarn opens up Hadoop to other types of distributed applications beyond MapReduce. As already told you, other kind of MapReduce applications, other than the MapReduce applications, other kind of distributed applications are able to process. Therefore, Yarn enables the users to perform operations as per requirement by using a variety of tools like Spark. Spark is used for real-time processing. Hive is used for SQL commands-oriented processing. HBase is used for NoSQL and other kind of operations. For various operations, the various tools are utilized in Yarn. Okay. Apart from this resource management, Yarn also performs job scheduling. Not only the resource management job is done by the Yarn, also some job scheduling work is carried out by means of this Yarn. Therefore, Yarn performs all your processing activities by allocating resources and scheduling tasks. By allocating the resources and scheduling some of the tasks which are produced, which are happened during the Hadoop ecosystem processing, Yarn performance all the activities which are currently processed by you. There are two versions available in Hadoop. One is Hadoop 1.0, which have not the facility of Yarn. The Hadoop 1.0, which have no facility of Yarn software, which have directly MapReduce information are transferred to HDFS information, HDFS processing. But in Hadoop version 2.0, the Yarn is introduced. In the year 2013 itself, the Yarn is introduced. End of the 2012 and the beginning of the 2013, the version of Hadoop 2.0 is introduced, in which Yarn is activated. Yarn accepts input, which are the output of MapReduce methods, as well as the other data processing frameworks. This is the specialty of the Yarn. then which yarn gives the input to the HDFS system. So this is the main concept which is coined in Hadoop 2.0, version 2.0. So not only the map reduce method outputs are given to the input of the yarn, other kind of data processing works by using HBase, by using Apache software, some other Apache softwares are given to the yarn as input. Now, we want to discuss about what is the definition of yarn. Apache software is the open source software. Apache framework is the open source framework. Why the Apache softwares are open source? Open source means we can download any Apache software freely. Utilize yourself. You can modify the downloaded software. You can restructure the software. That's why the softwares are called as freedom softwares, free softwares, non-proprietary softwares. Most of the Apache softwares and open source softwares are non-proprietary softwares. Therefore, the Apache software company produces one of the Apache yarn. The abbreviation for Apache yarn is yet another resource negotiator. Is the resource management layer of Hadoop, which acts as a resource management layer of Hadoop. Yarn was introduced in Hadoop 2.0 version onwards. Yarn allows different data processing engines like what are the data processing works are carried out by means of the yarn engine, graph processing, interactive processing, stream processing, as well as batch processing. These processing works are run and process data stored in HDFS. All these informations, that is graph processing, are processed and stored it into HDFS system. Interactive processing, stream processing, batch processing, everything is carried out in yarn. Apart from these resource management schemes, yarn also does job scheduling. What is the meaning of the job scheduling? You know that very well in the ordinary operating system of any computer. Therefore, yarn is a large-scale distributed operating system for big data applications. Our usual operating system like Windows and Linux and other kind of operating system, DOS, these are all utilized for the small-scale operations, small-scale data sets. But if you want to use large-scale informations, large volumes of informations, we require a distributed operating system. Yarn work like a distributed operating system. Yarn work like a data operating system for the processing purpose of the big data applications. Therefore, the technology is designed for cluster management. The technology is designed for cluster management and is one of the key features in the second generation of Hadoop. First generation of Hadoop is version 1. Second generation of Hadoop is version 2. These versions are produced by the Apache Software Foundation, open source distributed processing framework. Therefore, yarn is a software rewrite that is capable of decoupling MapReduce resource management and scheduling capabilities from data processing component. So whatever the output produced by MapReduce are decoupled, rearranged, reclustered by means of this yarn software. This is the specialty of the yarn software. Okay, now what are the layers available in yarn softwares? First, we have to discuss the architecture of yarn. Then how the resource management work is done by yarn. What is the high availability of volume of data? How the yarn software works? What are the various web application proxy servers? You know that very well. Like a proxy server, yarn also work like a proxy web application oriented. Then Docker container executor. This is another kind of execution control carried out in yarn. Then timeline server. How the timeline server informations are activated, server informations are fetched into your system for the processing of big data by using the Hadoop system is actually discussed. That is timeline server version 2 is not yet invented. Okay, these are the very a very basic information which is actually carried out in yarn softwares, yarn tool. Now you see here, there are three layers: API, engine, and system. In the base of the layer, HDFS and yarn, data operating system. I already informed you, data operating system is yarn. In the system side layer, both HDFS and yarn work together. Then in the engine side layer, that is search engine side, search engine, like how Google act like a search engine. The Google fetches our queries, gets the information, gets the information for our queries from various sources. Like there are various search engines are available in the Hadoop ecosystem. One of the engine is MapReduce and Test, Slider. These are real-time search engines. Other softwares, other Spark like ISV and everything is available. These are all act like a search engine applications. There are various applications. API, application process interface, is executed. Various real-time applications are executed in this area. Therefore, there are three layers exactly carried out in the Hadoop ecosystem. One is API, user-defined applications. API contains user-defined applications. For each and every user-defined applications, we use different kind of tools. One is used Java, another one is used .NET, one is used for scripting language Pig, for SQL language Hive, for cascading the language Scala, Java, other ISV softwares. Then HBase, Storm is another one, streaming software is utilized. These are the various application-oriented softwares are utilized for the purpose of the application-oriented softwares. Okay, this is the three layers exactly utilized in Hadoop ecosystem. Now we discuss about what is the architecture of yarn. What is the main architecture of the yarn? Here there are four components available in yarn. One is resource manager. The first one is resource manager. Second one is node manager. Third one is container. Then fourth one is application manager or application master. Application manager. So resource manager, node manager, container, application manager. These four are the various components: resource manager, node manager, application manager, container. These four are the very famous four components available in yarn. What is the use of all these four components? Okay, you can read out very well. Some client informations are processed, get by the resource manager of yarn. Then the resource manager gives this resource manager acts like whatever the information produced by the client. Therefore, here there are four layers are available, four components are available, in which what is the work of the resource manager, which runs on a master domain and manages the resource allocation in the cluster, which runs on the master domain, which is the central component of the yarn, resource manager, which run on the master domain and allocates some resources to its components, to its application manager, to its node manager, to its container. Then what is the work of the node manager? There are various node managers are available in a single yarn. Here three node managers are available, but only one resource manager is available. Okay, all the node managers are run on the slave domains and are responsible for the execution of a task on every single data node. Each and every node manager contains some data node. All the data node are executed by means of this node manager. How the data node are executed? Then what is the work of the application manager? What is the work of the application manager? Which manages the user job life cycle and the resource needs of individual applications. Some individual persons are individual applications are carried out by means of this application master, application manager or application master. Okay, so it works along with the node manager and monitors the execution of your task. Like a manager in a bank, how the day-to-day activities are carried out by means of the various employees of which are available, those who are available in a bank are done by the application manager or application master. There is a light difference between the application manager and application master. Application masters are done the exact job. Application manager manages all the activities which are carried out by the application master. Then what is the use of the container? Which having the storage place, which contains the information which are processed by means of this yarn software, which is a package of resources including RAM, CPU, network, HDD, etc. on a single node. Container is the CPU oriented, network oriented, HDD, hard disk oriented, RAM oriented information. The container holds all the information which are processed by means of this yarn software, yarn tool, yarn OS. This is the major work carried out in yarn architecture. What is the work of a resource manager? Now we discuss about the major work of a resource manager. There are various phases. A number of phases are available. In order to discuss all these phases is not easy, which requires minimum 2 hours. In order to discuss all this work, all these phases, all these components, all these tasks, actually not, these are called as components, which are all called as tasks in resource manager. A number of tasks are carried out by the resource manager. For example, admin service, client service, applications CLS manager, applications manager, yarn scheduler, context, application master launcher. Like there are various tasks are available and carried out by means of this resource manager. Okay, but it is not possible to discuss all these, what is the work of all these tasks individually in this webinar. Therefore, we discuss some speciality of some advantages of the resource manager. It is the ultimate authority in resource allocation. For the resource allocation, the resource manager is the ultimate authority. On receiving the processing request, it passes, that is the resource manager passes parts of request to corresponding node managers. Some requests are passed to the node manager by the resource manager, where the actual processing takes place, takes place. It is the arbitrator of the cluster resources decides the allocation of the available resources for completing the applications. So the resource manager monitor every activities which are completed by the node manager or not, which are the informations are stored by the container or not. Everything is carried out, which optimizes the cluster utilization, like keeping all resources. What are the resources are utilized? All the resources informations are kept by means of some special kind of operations. Okay, against various constraints such as capacity guarantees, fairness, and SLAs, slimline activations. For that, for keeping all the resources, we use containers in this by means of this resource manager. A resource manager have two components. One is scheduler and another one is application manager. A resource manager contains two components. One is scheduler and another one is application manager. Just a minute. So there are two major components available in resource manager. What is the scheduler? What is the work of scheduler in resource manager? Already you know that very well. What will be done by means of a scheduler in an operating system? The same thing is carried out by means of a scheduler which is available in the resource manager. The scheduler is responsible for allocating resources to the various running applications subject to constraints of capabilities, queues, etc. What are the jobs are available in queues? All these are done by means of scheduled by means of this scheduler. It is called a pure scheduler in resource manager, which means that it does not perform any monitoring or tracking of status for the applications, which does not perform any monitoring and status of the information, whether the job is done perfectly or not, whether the job is processed perfectly or not. These things are not carried out by means of this scheduler. Only the job allocation is done by using this scheduler. If there is an application failure or hardware failure, the scheduler does not guarantee to restart the failed task. The job allocation only is done by this scheduler. Whether it is perfectly done by means of this ecosystem, Hadoop ecosystem, this is not carried out by means of this scheduler. Also, the scheduler performs scheduling based on the resource requirements of the applications. Suppose some kind of information to be printed, if there is no printer attached, the scheduler does not worry about all these informations. It has a pluggable policy plugin, which is responsible for partitioning the cluster resources among the various applications. Okay, some kind of plugin, some kind of information are available in the queue, then the scheduler is the responsible. There are two such plugins are available. One is capacity scheduler and another one is fair scheduler. What is the capacity scheduler? Suppose a job is a very big job, or the processing of the particular job is not possible by using the available resources, the scheduler informed to the user, which is not possible to process the schedule by means of the availability of the system, and go like that. This is capacity scheduler. Then what is fair scheduler means? Some kind of schedules or jobs are done exactly, fairly, which produce 100% output, which is called as what? Fair scheduler, which are currently used as schedulers in resource manager. Then what is the work of the application manager in the resource manager? It is the application manager is the responsible for accepting job submissions. Application manager response is the response which you have to accept the job submissions. Negotiates, which negotiates the first container from this resource manager for executing the application specific application master. Whenever an application master done a request, then only the resource manager acts. Therefore, before completing the job which is already submitted by and which does not completed by means of the application master, the resource manager negotiates the job which is produced by the container. So the application manager manages running the application masters in a cluster and provides service for restarting the application master container on failure. Okay, suppose if some failures are happen, the application manager does not have some information about the processing of the job. Now we want to discuss about the node manager. In node manager also there are various components are available. Already I inform you, in the resource manager there are various components where there are various tasks are available. Like in the node manager there are various tasks, various manager components are available. Node status updater, container manager, container executor, node health checker service, security, web server. These are some tasks available in the node manager. First we discuss about what is called as node manager. Node manager is one of the component in the yarn operating system which takes care of individual nodes in a Hadoop cluster and manages user jobs and workflow. You not only manages the user jobs, also the workflow of the given node. A node which carry out whether the job is done perfectly, whether the job is processed and got output or not. Everything is managed by means of this node manager. It registers with the resource manager and sends hot feeds with the health status of the node. The node manager sends information to the resource manager whether the job is done or not, whether the job is processed or not, whether the job is ongoing or not. Everything to the which reports the node manager reports to the resource manager. Its primary goal is to manage application containers assigned to it by the resource managers. Mostly the application containers assigned to the resource manager. All these jobs. It keeps up to date with the resource manager. The node manager keeps all the information up to date and reported to the resource manager. Okay. The application master requests the assigned container from the node manager by sending it a container launch context. Already we have not enough discussion about the CLC. Container launch context. There are various kinds of the tasks are available in between the node manager and resource manager. All these tasks are done by using this node manager. The node manager creates the requested container process and starts it. Whatever the request of the container process is carried out, which is exactly created by the node manager. The node manager monitors resource usage, how much memory are utilized, how much processing time, CPU time are utilized for each and every individual containers. There are various containers are available in a YARN system, in which each and every individual containers informations are carried out by means of the node manager, which performs log management. Log management means which keeps all the information about the particular job, the how many number of jobs are available, whether the jobs are produced, whether the jobs are processed, whether the jobs are not processed, whether the jobs are ongoing. Everything is monitored by means of this node manager. It also kills the containers directed by the resource managers. The node manager also kills the container as directed by the resource manager. Once the information is processed by means of a node manager, then the node manager informations are killed, deleted. Then what is the use of the application manager? An application manager, contains an application which process some applications. Which process some applications means jobs. An application is a single job submitted to the framework, YARN framework, Hadoop framework. Each such application has a unique application master associated with it, which is a framework for specific entity. Actually, application master having several application master are several, but application managers are only one. For one resource manager, only one application managers are available. For one application manager, there are various application masters are available. The application masters are then the jobs which are allocated by means of the application manager. It is the process that coordinates on application execution in the cluster and also manages faults. Whatever the faults are actually available at the time of processing a job is monitored by means of this application master. Its task is to negotiate resources from the resource manager and work with the node manager to execute and monitor the components task. With the supporting of the resource manager and the node manager, the application master done their job. It is responsible for negotiating appropriate resource containers from the resource manager, tracking their status, monitoring their progress. Everything is carried out by means of this application master. Once the job is started for the process, it periodically, that is the application master periodically sends hot feeds to the resource manager to often confirm its health and to update the record of its resource demands. What is the health? Whether the job is perfectly done or not, everything is reported to the application master through the node manager. Then what is the use of the container? It's a storage place. Already I stated it's a collection of physical resources such as RAM, CPU, cores, and disk on a single node. Yarn containers are managed by container launch context, CLC, container launch context, which is container life cycle, which is a part of the container life cycle. In RAM, whenever the system is switch on, then only the information stored in the RAM, random access memory, is having activated. But if you store your information in the HDD, then it should be permanently stored. So everything is keeping by the container. This record contains a map of environment variables. What are the variables? What are the dependencies stored in a remotely accessible storage? What is the source? What is the security of information? How much we want to utilize the loading the information? How we can manage the node services? How we can utilize the node manager services? What are the commands are utilized for the purpose of creation of the process, accessing the process? Everything is carried out by means of this container. Sometimes your queries are stored in the clipboard. Your copied commands are stored in the clipboard. Clipboard is the one of the example for the container in your ordinary system. Okay, if you press Control C after blocking a particular text, if you press Control C, the information is stored in a clipboard in your system. That is called as a container in the Hadoop system environment. It grants rights to an application to use a specific amount of resources, memory, CPU, on a specific host. Therefore, suppose if we want to know more about the components of the yarn, you can visit this site. Hadoop yarn is designed to provide a generic and flexible framework to administer the computing resources in the Hadoop cluster. In this direction, yarn resource manager service, RM resource manager, is the central controlling authority for resource management and makes allocation decisions. There are various components available in the yarn. You got to visit the dataflyer.training.blocks dataflyer website. This is a website. Okay, here we have the lot of information about the resource manager. Suppose if you want the introduction about the yarn, we can have most of the slides are taken from this site. Okay, now if you want to read out more information about the resource manager, you can visit this website. There are various resources, various size of resources, various repositories or resources are available in the net. How these resources are utilized? Okay, what is the definition of yarn resource manager? What is the Hadoop yarn resource manager components? What are the different components are available? Client service, admin service, resource tracker service, ENM, live lines monitor. These are all some other kind of resource managers. Tasks are available in the nodes list manager. These are some other kinds of resource managers. Components interacting with the per application AIMs, or application AIM means application master services. So AIM lines services monitor the core of the resource manager. There are various tasks are available. Application manager, application ACLs manager. There are various yarn scheduler. Various concepts are available. Delegation of token remover. How yet mostly all the informations are carried out by means of a token in the Hadoop system. In a cluster oriented execution, mostly the tokens are identified by means of the natural language understanding concept, by utilizing the natural understanding concept. Now, suppose if you want to find out more information about the node manager, you can visit this site. The node manager, what are the node managers? What are the components of a node manager? We can utilize the component of node manager. There are various components are available in the node manager. There are various components are available in the node manager. Various tasks are available in the node manager. Node status updater and container manager, RPC server, resource location service, containers launcher. Each and everything is used for what purpose? Means only for accelerating the node, how the node should be, jobs are done by using the node manager. Then container executor, node health checker services, how the web servers are activated. All these are all perfectly carried out. How shuffle and sort are carried out in the MapReduce and HDFs, in between the MapReduce and HDFS system. You know that very well. Already in the MapReduce in Hadoop session, we discussed about how to shuffle and sort the information. Here, this Hadoop Yarn node manager auxiliary service are actually carried out by means of node manager, map task, and MR application manager, and reduce task, managing the application manager, node manager. Everything is carried out. There are various kinds of information. Okay. Now, is there any other tool which are equivalent to the Yarn is available? Yes, Mesos is available. In this Yarn versus Mesos, Mesos is another kind of operating system which is used instead of Yarn. Instead of Yarn, we can utilize Mesos. This is another one operating system which is available in the processing of the Hadoop ecosystem. But most of the peoples are nowadays utilized Yarn, but Mesos are utilized some kind of other peoples. So we have some comparison of Mesos. What is the difference between Mesos and Yarn? What are the languages used in Mesos? C++. C++ we require in order to write codes, source code and the command lines in Mesos. But Yarn is written in Java. By using the Java language, Yarn was actually written. Okay. What are the schedulers are available in Mesos? There is no non-monetized monolithic schedulers are available, utilized. But monolithic schedulers are available in the Yarn. In scheduling oriented informations, Mesos and Yarn having different kinds of scheduling. CPU scheduling is carried out in Mesos, and mainly memory scheduling is carried out in Yarn. Memory scheduling is carried out in Yarn. CPU scheduling is carried out in Mesos. What is the scalability of Yarn and Mesos? Scalability means what is the limitation of usage of the both operating systems. Non-monolithic scheduler Mesos is highly scalable, but less scalable. The Yarn having some less scalable capability because it is a monolithic scheduler. Some monolithic scheduler means some special kind of, some little kind of executions, some special predefined kind of task only are carried out by means of this Yarn. There are various data handling centers are utilized by both the softwares. Therefore, what is the abstraction? Low level abstraction is carried out in Mesos, and the Yarn runs both the applications. Availability is Yarn resource manager is highly available. Mesos resource manager is not highly available. Apache Mesos and are utilized at master level, but yarn utilized in the resource manager level. So there are various securities are produced by means of this yarn, but Mesos is not having a secure authentified information. There are various kinds of informations are produced by means of this different kind of operations. So you can visit the website. Now, what is the application submission in yarn? How we can submit the applications in yarn? This is the application submission process. 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 7. 7 process is carried out. Management resource code, node manager, application master, and resource manager and node manager. Everything is available here. In the first and third phase, we have to submit the job. Application submission context. In first and third, we have to submit the job from the client. From the client, the jobs are submitted to the manager. Then, by means of the second operation, we have to get the application ID, identification, the ID, identifier for the application job identification. Job identifier is carried out. Then in the 4A, start container launch. Some node have some container launch. The container is actually launched by node manager as well as application master. Then launch the application master by means of the resource manager to the node manager and application manager. Then it should be allocated to the node manager, resource manager node, by the allocate resources operations. In the sixth phase, 6A, some container informations are carried out by means of this yarn. In yarn, there are two kinds. One is container and another one is launcher. 6B launcher, yarn child is produced and to the task of Java virtual machine. Mostly yarn is written by using the Java, therefore Java virtual machine informations are carried out. Everything is carried out by means of this node manager. The seventh task is execute the child which is produced by means of yarn and resource manager. Okay, this is the working flow of that is application submission in yarn. What is the workflow of the yarn? There are 4 tasks, that is 4 components: client, resource manager, node manager, application manager. In the first task, client submits an application. In the second task, okay, so resource manager allocates a container to start application manager. In the second, resource manager allocates job to the container and application manager. Start to the application manager. In third job, application manager registers with all resource managers. Registers with the resource manager. In fourth, application manager asks containers from the resource manager. Then fifth, application manager notifies node manager to launch containers. So this has happened. Then in sixth phase, sixth task or sixth operation, application code is executed in the container. Client services, client operation contacts resource manager, application manager, or either by resource manager or by the application manager to contact the contacts to monitor application status is done by using the seventh. Client informations are monitored. Then in the eighth operation, application manager unregisters with the resource manager. This is the working flow of the yarn. Then this working flow is how carried out by means of a simple example. This is executed. Resource manager, scheduler, we have application master, container. There are various containers are available. There are various application masters are available only based on the node managers, some node managers. From this node manager, there are various containers and application masters are available in order to execute the jobs. This is the simple example of simple workflow of the yarn. Now we discuss about the coming into the point of discussion about the features of yarn. What are the features available in yarn? Multi-tenancy, scalability, cluster utilization, compatibility is the special feature which is available in the yarn. Multi-tenancy, scalability. Already I informed what is the purpose of the scalability. Cluster utilization also we discussed, because various kinds of information, various groups of informations, various kinds of jobs are utilized effectively. Then capability, multi-tenancy. So what is the definition of each and every component, which is what are the special features available in the yarn? Compatibility first. Applications created using the MapReduce framework that can run easily on yarn. And yarn having a compatible version, compatibility of creating MapReduce applications framework highly by means of compatibility. Better cluster utilization is carried out, and yarn allocates all cluster resources in an efficient and dynamic manner, which leads to better utilization of Hadoop as compared to the previous versions of it. So better cluster utilization, better groups of information are allocated by means of this yarn. Then scalability, almost scalability, utmost scalability. Whenever there is an increase in the number of nodes in the Hadoop cluster, then yarn resource manager assures that it meets the user requirements. Based on the user requirements, some of the scalable informations are carried out. What is the multi-tenancy and various engines that are used to access data on the Hadoop cluster can efficiently work together, all because of yarn as it is a highly versatile technology. Yarn is a highly versatile technology which having capability of managing all the search engines, managing all the cluster-oriented, Hadoop-oriented information. So multi-tenancy, the different kinds of information, different kinds of servers, search engine informations are carried out effectively by means of this yarn. Now we discuss about what is the difference between the yarn and MapReduce. The type of processing utilized in yarn is real-time, batch, and interactive processing multiple engines with the multiple engines. MapReduce utilizes only single engine. Batch processing and single engine search engine only information processing is carried out in MapReduce. Cluster resource optimization, how the cluster resource optimization is carried out by means of both. Excellent work is done by yarn. Average work is done by the MapReduce. Suitable for MapReduce and non-MapReduce applications. The MapReduce applications are suitable only for MapReduce applications. Non-MapReduce applications are also done by using the yarn. The managing cluster resources are done by yarn, not done by MapReduce, which is only the job tracker informations are done by the cluster resources by means of this MapReduce. Namespace is the criteria used in many database oriented informations. Yarn Hadoop supports multiple namespaces, but supports only one namespace in the MapReduce. This is the main difference between the yarn and the MapReduce. Now finally we come to the point of the utilization of the yarn. There are 4 layers. These are the first one is top layer is the application layer. Application process interface, programming interface. Application programming interface API contains many kind of information. Non-relational DBMS, search platform, Apache digraph, graph processing, Apache Hive SQL oriented, Apache big scripting language oriented, everything is carried out. These informations are processed by means of a special kind of framework, either by MapReduce or other kind of Apache software, so Spark and Test. These both the informations are accepted by means of this yarn by its resource management routine. Then it gives us input to the HDFS, distributed storage layer. This is the major 4 tasks done by the yarn softwares. Now we want to discuss about yarn web applications. This is also part of the yarn. By default, it runs as a part of resource manager, but we can configure and run it a standalone mode. How the web applications are carried out. Whether it is possible to carry out the web applications where there are various proxy servers are utilized, perfectly utilized by means of this yarn. Proxy servers are utilized. Proxy informations are stored in by means of this yarn effectively. Okay, so resource manager runs as trusted user, which trusted as a resource manager. That is as a very best software for link between the server and the user oriented applications. By means of various kinds of web application, proxy is monitored. Proxy is carried out effectively by means of this yarn. Now, what is the use of this? Just wait. What is the special use of this Docker container executor? Docker combines an easy to use interface Linux container. Docker means document container. How the documents are carried out by means of this Linux container? Docker generates a lightweighted virtual machine. Virtual machine lightweighted informations are carried out by means of this Docker. Docker means a document container is called as Docker. The Docker container executor allows the yarn node manager to launch yarn container to Docker container. So hence these containers provide a custom software environment in which users code run isolated from a software environment of node manager. By means of an environment of node manager, the Docker container executes. Hence, a Docker for yarn provides both consistency and isolation. Consistency and the isolation is perfectly carried out by means of this Docker container, document container. In Linux, which is perfectly carried out the Docker container executor. What is the yarn timeline servers? The storage and retrieval of application current and historic information in a generic fashion is addressed by the timeline service in yarn. Nowadays, the data is growing every second, every time, every minute. All these informations are perfectly fetched into the processing purpose of the yarn. Yes, it is perfectly fetched. In what way the informations are processed? In two ways. One is persisting application specific information, and another one is persisting general information about completed applications. Some kind of informations are collected and retrieved by means of this yarn specific application framework. For example, Hadoop MapReduce framework consists the pieces of information about the MapReduce task. Reduce the task and the counters. But in persistent general information about completed applications, already completed applications, which generate, the yarn generate generic information includes application level data such as queue name, when it is stored, where it is stored, user information, the like set in the application submit context, who submit the application, what about the information about the application, what is the list of applications available online, what is where which is available, everything is carried out by means of this yarn timeline server. Yeah, a special kind of server is actually carried out by means of the yarn, which is inbuilt the yarn, which having the timeline information, time oriented information in the yarn softwares. Then what are the special tools used in yarn development? What tools are used for developing the yarn web utility interface, huge job browser, yarn command line? These are the three development tools, developer tools are available for the development of the yarn. These tools enable developers to submit, monitor, manage jobs on the yarn clusters. These three tools are exactly used for submitting the application, monitoring the application, managing jobs which are done by the yarn cluster. Finally, we conclude that yarn is the introduction of the yarn framework has made it easier to build applications for Hadoop developers. The applications are no longer required to be implemented with the third-party tools. Directly by using the yarn software, we can run the application, any kind of application. Yarn is a huge change which will allow users to consider Hadoop 2.0 to create applications and manipulate data more effectively. Effective data processing work is carried out by means of the Hadoop 2.0 yarn version. With the time, there will be further developments to enhance the usability of Hadoop. The yarn framework will play a crucial role in dealing with the existing problems and creating a hassle-free environment, user-free environment, which is more versatile than the earlier version of the MapReduce model. With this small introduction about the yarn operating system, yarn data operating system, we will conclude. If you have any questions, you can ask. Suppose if you want to know more about the Hadoop environment oriented informations, you can visit my YouTube and find out more information about the Hadoop
Sir, there is
ecosystem.
only one question, sir.
Yeah. What
Sir,
is the question?
There is only one question, sir.
Okay, what is the
from
question?
Rangaswamy, graph and iterative processing will not happen, sir.
Yes, graphing and iterative process will be happen. Yes, definitely.
Okay,
graph processing is happen in the MapReduce method. That is the specialty of using this MapReduce method. Okay, the specialty of using this MapReduce method is
okay.
Graph processing, and already I told you graph processing and other kind of processing is carried out perfectly done by using this method. Then
sir,
no, yes,
sir.
any other question?
Sir, by the same person, sir. Another question. Scoop is a map side job, sir.
Scoop is the yes,
Scoop
exactly.
Is the map side
job. Yes, already I explained in the during my session itself. In MapReduce session itself, what is the use of the scoop? I already explained. We can go through the other videos which is available in my YouTube. Okay, scoop is map side. Yes, definitely.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question?
That's it, sir.
Feedback form.
I have posted the feedback form, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Can we end the session?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Feedback form 4 வரைக்கும் இருக்கட்டுமா? இல்ல end பண்ணலாமா?
We can end, sir. அது அப்படியே இருக்கும், sir. Chat boxல.